Erie wins its third in a row at home, 60-27 over Johnstown, avenges an early season loss on the road to Johnstown. Head coach Sean Liotta on our ErieExplosion.com postgame show. And, well, Coach, your overall assessment of this game?
I thought it was a great win. You know, it was great we came out and avenged that early season loss to them. I thought we played well in all three areas of the game. Thought our defense was just outstanding. We got after them all day, beat the quarterback up pretty good. Our guys up front, the first drive of the game we didn't get much pressure, but after that it was like a floodgate. I mean, we were at the quarterback all night long, made it easy on our DBs to cover, and they made some plays in the second half with turning them over and turning into points. So anytime you can do that, you're playing close to championship level football. Offensively, I don't think we got stopped on a drive until mid to late third quarter. I don't remember off the top. Kind of went into a lull for a little bit, which I'm not real happy about that, but we came out and finished strong. We came out and scored a couple times there at the end to kind of put it away, and we've just got to keep getting better.
It's almost a replay of the last two home games because it was a close game early. At one point it was 14-10, and from that point on, you guys just ripped off score after score after score. And on the defensive side of the ball, again, A.J. Saunders comes up and has 3 interceptions, another pick 6. The defense has scored 5 touchdowns this season.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's anytime you can do that, you're playing playoff football. You're going to be on the winning side of the ledger, and you're playing playoff football. So if we continue to do that and continue to not turn the ball over on offense and put points up, we're going to be tough to beat. I mean, those are the ingredients to have a winning indoor football team. It's no secret. You're efficient with the football. You score points. You make big plays. And, some little things like backbreakers, like we come out first play of the game, we go up top and score. It's little things like that that'll break a team's will a little bit, and I think we kind of did that to them where they knew that, hey, this was going to be a long night. This was not March 11th in Johnstown. This was a different team. It was going to be a different kind of atmosphere. And then you look at defensively, we let them score on the first drive, but from there we just took over the football game. I mean, they're kicking field goals when they're down by 20 points, and almost that's like, MMA fans, that's like a tap out. We call that a tap out. So, when that happens. So anytime you can do that, we're happy about it.
Talking about the offense, and I don't know if we brought this up during one of the post-game shows, but we've talked about it, I think, at some of our pregame shows on the television side, is A.J. McKenna. We know what he can do with his arm, but with his legs, and he gets the great protection from the offensive line, but he continues to just make plays when the receivers aren't open. If the opposing team secondary shuts your receivers down, he can do so many things, cutting across the field, breaking tackles, just making things happen. He just brings that extra element to this offense.
Yeah, and it limits what they can do. If you want to cover with 4, what I mean by that is the 3 DBs and drop the jack linebacker out to the flat, and you want to bring your MAC linebacker, well, we've got 4-on-4 blocking those guys, and if they're all engaged and there's a hole opens up, he's going to take off and run. And he's a big, physical, fast guy, and that's a hard thing for someone to bring down. You get in the secondary, a lot of DBs in this league, they're not in this league because they're tacklers. They're in this league because they're cover guys, so they're not really trying to come up and tackle a 6'5", 240-pound quarterback that can run.
And he ended up with 6 touchdown passes, 2 rushing touchdowns. Willie Idolette had a couple touchdown catches. Tyrone Morris with 4 more. I mean, Tyrone Morris continues to be the big play guy in this offense.
Sure, Tyrone's a veteran. Tyrone's one of the best receivers in all indoor football, but I think a lot of our guys could be classified in that realm. It's whoever that day is kind of getting open, or maybe who's working the best matchup against whatever DB they have, because we go after weak links in the defense. So, we find that weak link and we try to go after it. It's not rocket science. What I was happy about was the efficiency we had offensively, where you score every drive. And we were even in a couple situations where it was 4th and, to Meadville, and we were able to convert it. So, I was real happy about that.
And going back to the defensive side before we talk about your next opponent coming in, we've talked so much about the front 3 in the secondary, and you forget about what John D'Angelo and Roosevelt Benjamin do from the linebacking spot sometimes. I mean, this defense as a unit is just playing unbelievable football right now.
2 best linebackers in the league. I mean, you got Rowe, what else can you say? Veteran, been around for so long, doing it better than anybody has over the last, 10 or 12 years. You got John D'Angelo, 2nd year playing indoor football. He's all over the place. He makes big plays. He's like a missile when he blitzes. He flies around. He's nasty. Those are the kind of guys I want here. Those are the guys I want on defense. Nasty. Look at our defense. It's nasty.
Yep.
Now, we're going to get a couple flags. But people are intimidated. You can't tell me that teams come in here to this arena and they're not intimidated of our defense. They are. I mean, that goes without saying.
It's shown the last 3 weeks. You get now an opportunity. You get a crack at the first place team who's a game ahead of you in the standings in Cincinnati. They're idle this week, and they'll be here next Sunday. And the biggest game of the season, obviously. I know it's a one-game approach, so now you can talk about your next opponent, the Cincinnati Commandos. We're
excited for the challenge. I think they're a great football team. Anytime you go 2 years and you don't lose a football game, I think they have 18 consecutive wins. In their history, they only have one game they've ever lost, and that's when they sat a lot of guys at the end of a season. With that said, I've been breaking their film down, for the last 2 weeks. We've got a 60-page game plan. We handed to our guys here tonight, so we are prepared for the Cincinnati Commandos, and we fully expect them to come in and give us their best shot. And I think we're going to kind of see at this point in the year how good we are and how good they are. But it's a long season. That'll only be Game 6. There's 5 games after that, plus the playoffs. And we see them again, and we see them down the road. So you don't want to put too much stock into one game. But certainly, anytime first place is on the line, it's a huge game. Fans, I hope the fans come out and pack this place next Sunday, because Cincinnati's probably one of the best teams that's ever come in to this arena since I've been here. So, they're a very talented team. And they're going to be a major challenge for us.
Looking forward to it. Coach, enjoy this one.
I'm already enjoying it.
All right, Sean Liotta, victorious head coach, 60-27. Erie moves to 4-1 on the season with this win over Johnstown. We're on our ErieExplosion.com post-game show. Bob starting fullback and has seen some time on the defensive line as well this season, but you had a 2-point conversion catch. We'll start off with that, because I remember when we talked a couple of weeks ago, we did you on the pregame on Image Sports, and said it's been a while since the ball's been in your hands, and you get an opportunity to contribute with a 2-point catch.
Yeah, anytime my number's called, I'd like to contribute. We felt like it was there. Last week we were on a lot of sweep, a lot of run with AJ, and AJ put it in Coach's ear, and I might have helped a little bit asking Coach for the ball. So I don't get it much, so when I do, I try to take advantage, and it was a fun way to end the half.
How much fun has it been blocking for AJ, and not only watching what he's done with his arms, but the way he just breaks down defenses with his legs, and some of those long runs where he breaks sometimes up to 6-7 tackles.
Sometimes we're just blocking so long, it seems like, because we think he threw the ball, and all of a sudden he's running by us, and we're downfield blocking for him. So he's definitely a playmaker. We're happy to have him. He's definitely bringing a new dimension to our offense. And you can't just cover us. You got to stop the run. You got to come up, be aggressive, and it's up to Cincinnati to try to figure that out. We'll see.
You and I have talked about this before, but since this is your first appearance on our post-game show on the website, talk about the adjustment this year as a blocking back with this league, the defensive lineman being able to twist and stunt a little bit. So it's not really changed your role, but it adds a different dynamic as primarily being a blocking fullback.
Yeah, it gives us more to think about. I think so far our line has come together pretty well. Good communication. We're always talking, helping each other out. With AJ running too, that helps us out a lot, because they got linebackers dropping back, trying to make plays, and he's just a playmaker and helps us out up front, and just do the same thing year in, year out. They're going to twist, they're going to blitz, but it's our job to pick it up. That's what we get paid for.
And before that, you kind of segued into my next question, talking with Coach about it. Big game next week. You're playing the first-place team, the team that you're chasing, in Cincinnati next Sunday.
Right. No doubt it's a big game, but like Coach said, it's six game of the season, long season. It's going to be a hostile crowd. They're going to come in here, and, nobody wins in Erie. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to guarantee nothing, but nobody wins here.
That's a good way to end the interview. Thanks for your time, Bob. Bob Hammer starting fullback for the Erie Explosion in a 60-27 win over the Johnstown Generals.
Hi, John Leisering on the ErieExplosion.com postgame show with John D'Angelo, linebacker. Your defense tonight, John, I thought was absolutely outstanding.
I appreciate it. It's not an individual game, though. It starts with our front three. We have the best front three in all of the league. So, it starts there, and from there it just goes on. Our DBs have been holding it down the whole entire season. So, anything that I do is only because of the other guys on the team. It's not an individual game by any means. You just got to trust the other 7 guys out there and, take it from there.
Johnstown kicked a field goal with about 6.5 minutes to go in the second quarter to make it 26-13. Didn't score again until getting a defensive touchdown with 5 minutes to go in the fourth. That's about 32 minutes of scoreless football. Again, kudos to your defense.
We just go out and do our responsibilities. A field goal to us is a stop. In arena football, anytime they have to kick a field goal, that's typically a stop. So for us, we're pretty satisfied. We didn't have a kicker this week. We had to shuffle some things around. So they've been getting the ball with really good field position. They're still only putting up, less than about 30 points a game. Nobody scored over 40 on us. So we have the best defense in the league.
Was this a revenge game, or is it just a case of we're trying to become a better football team as we prepare for Cincinnati next weekend?
Oh, every game is just a game to get better. You in the back of your head, you remember that they were the ones that beat you, so you want to get revenge. But at the same time, you got to take it week by week. Nothing's a given, as we saw the first time we played Johnstown. But, we're just going to get better every week and go from there.
Coach Liotta called you nasty in his post-game interview. Do you enjoy that characterization? Do you like to be referred as a nasty player on the defensive side?
No, I love it. That's what you want to be known as on defense. You don't want to be known as a finesse guy or anything like that. We'll leave that to the offense. But with the defense, we're gonna tear things up and have a reputation through the league.
Talking with linebacker John D'Angelo. John, from what I saw, and I haven't seen the team play much this season, but what I saw tonight, you look like you enjoy taking a good lick on somebody.
Oh, absolutely. That's what makes the game fun. If you can have some big hits, it gets the crowd going, and that's what you're here for. The crowd pays to come to these games. They want to see a show. So if you can get a big hit, you're getting the people on their feet, and that's what they want to see.
I see on the table the coach already has a big scouting report for Cincinnati, and he says he's going to pass it out tonight, and you'll get ready for Cincinnati, I guess, starting as early as tomorrow. What do you know about Cincinnati other than the fact that they're 4-0 in a bye week?
Cincinnati is just another team. We don't look at them and say, oh, they're the first-place team. We say, oh, it's Cincinnati. They're coming into Erie where we don't lose. So they're going to have to come into our hostile environment and play us. They're obviously a good team. They're 4-0 for a reason. But, when that comes here, we're going to make sure that doesn't keep going that way and show everybody who the best team is.
It wasn't mistake-free football tonight, but do you have anything to clean up from your perspective on the defensive side?
Oh, it's never mistake-free. If you play a mistake-free game, I don't know that I've ever seen one, but we just got to strive every week to get better to perfect, and there's always going to be things to clean up, a blitz here and there that you have to run different, a coverage that you may have blown, so, there's always things you can work on.
One thing that's important from a statistical standpoint, I believe you're now plus 10 in turnover, giveaway, takeaway, and that is always a positive sign for a football team to be in the plus category.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that starts with our D-line. Our D-line is the one getting all the pressure, and in order for us to get pressure as linebackers, our D-line has to do their job. And so, our front five is giving our DBs a chance to make plays on the ball, and when they do, they don't miss opportunities.
Well, John, congratulations on another win tonight. That's 3 in a row, and best wishes next week against Cincinnati.
Thank you. Appreciate it.